Okay, class, this is our first home experiment. We're going to make a radio. This will be part 2 of it. The first part of the radio you'll have already made. It'll be the this loop detector, this loop antennae, and this little diode, and this variable capacitor, and they're all hooked up. You should have been able to use these earpieces, one of these little earpieces, as the output, just exactly like on page 127 of MIMS. Okay, now we're doing the first stage of amplification, and I followed MIMS reasonably well. So there's the MIMS picture. We're not using this guy here. We're using the loop antennae that I sent you home with. The loop antennae has 4 wires on it. There's a red one and a black one, and then 2 greens. What that looks like is 2 loops, and they're coupled through this ferrite bar. So the antennae goes to loop 1, which is a short loop, and then through a transformer action, any radio frequency that's picked up by this is amplified by this, because you know the way in a transformer the voltage in and voltage out is proportional to the number of turns in coil 1 and coil 2 and all that nonsense. More on that later. Okay, so there's our antennae. There's our variable capacitor, which I have here. This goes from something like 10 to 200 picofarads. This loop is 8 microhenries, and this loop is 650 microhenries. There's my diode. There's a 1 farad capacitor, 1 microfarad capacitor, 1 kilo ohm, 1 kilo ohm. So this is exactly like following in MIM's book. I have 2 9-volt batteries for power supplies, and I have, MIMS has a 100k potentiometer. I have a 50k potentiometer, but that's fine. Even with just this stage of amplification, we can get something. That's 1400 kilohertz in the AM. I don't know what channel this is. Okay, so you can pick up some channels like that. Now, an interesting question is, if I was to put the antennae, this is the antennae, it's an LAW, which is a long-ass wire. It just goes, it's about 10-foot wire, it's out my window, and I give you an LAW for in your own kit. Now, if we hook the antenna to here, instead of to the first loop, then we get this station, which sounds riveting. Okay, so there's 2 different tuning regimes. And the other thing I have to point out is that I've grounded this circuit. Hold on, I better turn it down. I've grounded this circuit. I've grounded the circuit here and here. If you unground them, the reception you get isn't quite so good. Let's see. So the signal is weaker. I expect that when I add the 386 op amp, which is a power op amp, when I add this stage, I should be able to get rid of these grounds and have a cleaner signal that's amplified. Okay, I think that's all I need to be telling you. Let me see. Yeah, there's the circuit diagram. It's following in the book. We changed this guy. That's the speaker. There's the speaker. There's me op amp. I use an elastic band to... Oh yeah, there is something I should tell you. These wires, it's called Lintz wire. It's 3 copper strands. Hold on, I'll turn it down. It's annoying. It's 3 copper strands, and I put photographs of it in the write-up, and it's wrapped in a kind of a nylon. And if you have to ever unwrap it for whatever reason, then what you got to do is this. You just take it, and if you just roll it with your fingers like that, you'll be able to see that the wrapping comes off if you roll it in the appropriate direction. You might have to test a few times to see which the direction is. Okay, and there's one more thing. The diode I gave you, I hope that you've got diodes that look like this one. It's 8 millimeters long and it's black on one end. Or there's a green version of it where you've got a green band. That's good too. Maybe you got this small little diode here. If you're using this small little diode here, it'll work for the amplified case. But it doesn't work for the crystal radio so well. You can kind of pick up something, but it's quite faint. So these aren't good. These are pretty only good if you're amplifying the signal. Okay, that's enough for now.